Hello, friends. Welcome to One Foot In. My name is Juliana. I'm your resident psychic medium and the host of this silly YouTube channel about all things paranormal. I have a couple of other channels too. Jules Gems Photography, where I try to showcase my photography because I'm a photographer too. And then the Salem Mason Happy Home YouTube channel, where it's a channel about anything and everything and nothing at all, as it's being lived by two average Americans just schlepping through life. But One Foot In is about living a life of paranormal, being a psychic medium, and living in a paranormal world, with one foot in the paranormal and 1 foot in the real world. I will touch on debunking, my perceptions of debunking and so on, in a later broadcast. But today I wanted to bring up one specific point. One of the YouTube channels that I love to watch is called Flaro's Phantoms. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Flaro is it is a podcast about debunking the paranormal and exposing fraud. And it is hosted by this beautiful raven-haired goddess that I just love. Her voice, I love her presentations, I love what she's come up with, her research, and I admire her, and I watch all of her episodes, and you should probably give it a whirl. Don't ask me how to pronounce or spell it. Sorry. But Flaro's Phantoms. And yesterday I was listening to a podcast of hers, broadcast, if you will, on YouTube, and she was debunking videos and stuff with one of her coworkers, friends, partners. I'm not sure who the other individual is with regard to her show, but they were going through different videos, and one of the videos was about a woman who had stepped outside onto her deck. They were debunking videos that were sent in or that they had seen. This woman went out onto her deck to have a cigarette, and she was walking her dog. Her dog was outside with her. And she claims that she heard a voice yell, "Get out!" And so she shrieked and she spun around and she ran in the house, even so scared she left her dog outside. And the dog came running up, and the dog's looking around like, what the hell? What's going on? Where are you? What's going on? Now, there's no proof at all that happened to that woman. Do I believe that it did? Well, I believe that something might have happened to her. But what debunked it for me was that she was outside after dark playing fetch with her dog. I know that dogs have to go to the bathroom after dark. I have a dog. We go nunna pee-pee, which is, the last pee-pee of the night before we go to bed. So I know they have to go out after dark. I'm not, immune to that. But who plays fetch with their dog after dark? The point of this is the dog's reaction. And one of the things that the host of Flaro's Phantoms said was, well, the dog didn't hear it, and dogs hear better than we do. Well, yes, in the physical, biological world, the mechanical science of how our bodies work, yes, they have many, 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 many more octaves that they can hear above and beyond ours in this physical material world. But in the paranormal world, it's a whole different deal. And he probably didn't react because if this was, in fact, a house ghost, a spirit, whatever, he may already know and understand that this presence is there and that it's not harmful. And so as far as he's concerned, it's just another member of his pack. Because animals are pure. They are as pure as you can get when it comes to the paranormal. They see and hear spirits and phantoms and house ghosts all the time. Our spirit guides, our loved ones, and they don't have the ability to really discern the difference. And because we are continuously, constantly surrounded by the spirit world, our pets are also living in that environment. And because they are pure and have no inhibitions, they are going to be able to see and hear and interact with spirits that we may not even realize are there. And if they are harmless house ghosts or the spirit of your beloved grandmother or whatever, it may not be something that they're going to react to, because that's just, that's just grandma. That's just Mr. Wilson, who used to live here. For them, they're just another member of their pack, their family. And so if there was a house ghost or a spirit that was playing a prank on the woman or was yelling at the woman, the dog may not have reacted, because the dog may not have given a shit. Oh yeah, that's Lou. Lou, why'd you yell at Mom? Now she's not playing fetch, asshole. And we know this because, and I've had firsthand experience with this, where I lived in a house that was so friggin' haunted. The individual, the woman that was haunting the place was, one of the original owners. And she was so mean and nasty, but she loved animals. And we knew that because we'd known her for, 30, 40 years. And she loved my dogs. And my dogs would get up and they would look up, and their heads would go like this, like they were bobbing up and down, like somebody was petting them. And they would look, their eyes would close and their ears would go back, just like somebody was petting them. Or they would hear something and they would go running into the kitchen and they would sit down and look up like this at the counter when nobody was there. They would appear to be snuggling up onto the laps of people that weren't there on the sofas. I mean, there is evidence. And a lot of people have this kind of evidence. There's zillions and zillions of accounts. And it's not that they're afraid. Animals are not going to respond to dead people like we do. They're going to respond completely different. Now, if you have a situation where you have a very dangerous entity in your home, or a spirit that means harm, that pet will also probably pick that up. If there's a dead person in your house, the spirit of a dead person, and they were animal haters, or they used to abuse their animals, your animal's probably going to react to that as well. They're going to know, because that spirit will be kicking and screaming at them if they don't realize that they can't be doing that. So there is an adverse effect there to their being as well. But as far as their hearing goes and their responses go, you could be sitting on a couch with a ghost on either side of you, and you're going to see yourself and you're going to see your dog looking up at you, but your dog is going to be seeing three. Now, they might sense that the ghosts are slightly different, but they're going to see that ghost completely and purely, whereas we would not. Or most people wouldn't. I mean, yeah, I know when there's ghosts around. We got ghosts around us all the time. Some of them are ghosts, some of them are not. Some of them are psychic loops, residue, they call it. Some are, bleeding in and out from different parallels and whatnot. But nonetheless, we are surrounded by disembodied and non-human things 24/7. It's constant. And so our pets are born into that, and our pets understand that. But they're not afraid of anything, unless the entity is harming them or is scaring them, or they believe the entity is going to harm you. But think about this. When you're being menaced by a ghost and your dog, you're freaking out and your dog is barking and barking, but they're not trying to attack it. Maybe that is, kind of supporting my theory. They believe that that individual, that entity is just another member of the pack. They're another person that lives in that house and they don't know what to do. Who should they bite? Who should they attack? So, yes, dogs do have a much more acute sense of hearing than humans do. But ghosts are not going to be yelling like someone calling bingo. If they are coming through to be a voice that you can hear, an audible sound, it's intended and directed toward you and you alone. It's not going to be shouted out for the whole house to hear. So, even so, that the dog probably wouldn't have heard it or responded to it because it was intended for her. Now, there's no proof that what happened to her really happened to her. I will say that her scare was quite genuine to me. I mean, it was very alarming. And we don't know the backstory of what's going on with this woman and her house. What set me back about the video was that she was outside playing fetch with her dog after dark. Who plays fetch with their dog after dark? I mean, you let your dog out to go to the bathroom before bed, but do you go out and play fetch? I mean, who does that, right? So, check out Flareo's Phantoms. Fantastic. I love the exposure to the frauds, the debunking, and we on this channel are also going to address that from our own experiences and our own perceptions, of course. But we will get to that at some point. But I did want to address the issue about the animals. Animals are pure. And animals see spirits as just another member of their pack. So go pet your dog. Cuddle and love your dog. And understand that if your dog is hanging with somebody that you can't see, odds are it's probably just a very harmless ghost. We love you all. Until next time.